according to recent studies and professionals, eliminating aluminium, parabens, and other toxins are important in lymph health and the general health of your body. So Dr. Stephanie Lyew, consultant general surgeon and lecturer from the University Hospital of the West Indies, advises why you must not ignore the signs of breast cancer and should always visit your physician for optimum breast and overall health. She joins us this morning alongside a very special guest, the CEO of Unwind Distributors, with a very beneficial story. She's Loeri Robinson. And we discussed the connection between the three. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time. Doc, I'm going to start with you. It's 10 minutes to your health. And sometimes when I read it as a myth, when my eyes spin it around. And we're going to be talking about one of those myths this morning.
Yes.
But what's the correlation? We said that between lymph health, breast cancer, deodorant, people tend to link them together?
Yes, they do. So one of the concerns we have as surgeons, sometimes when we see women in our clinic, they present with a lump in their armpit, or what we call the axilla, and that's where your lymph nodes are, and they drain fluid and act as a part of your immune system for the breast. But we have a problem where a lot of women feel a lump underneath their arm, and you know, their friend or someone they know say, boy, just change the deodorant. And they'll do that for months. Change brands of deodorants, hoping that that swelling underneath the arm will go away. When in fact, it progresses in those months, some weeks to months, before they present to us and talk about that lump underneath the arm. Now, I'm not saying that all lumps underneath the arm or the axilla is breast cancer or the breast. What I'm saying is it needs to be checked out by a doctor. Don't delay, don't go rubbing things underneath the arm or applying oils or balms. Go and see your doctor. Because at present, there's no evidence to support that deodorant causes breast cancer. Right? And so we want women to stop delaying seeing a physician. Go to your physician right away when you see or feel any abnormalities to the breast or the armpit.
Loeri, one of the things about social media is the disinformation and the misinformation, because until Doc said it, that there's no research. I'm sure there are a lot of people watching right now who went, really, there's no research that supports it? Because I think most of us think there is, and we've made that connection. And you're here because so clarify that for me in terms of the deodorants, what's in them, and why people made that connection.
All right, so we actually distribute deodorants. And as Dr. Lyew stated, it's just a theory. There's no evidence, scientific evidence to support it. So you have persons in the scientific field that are against and pro that theory. Notwithstanding, though, for antiperspirants that have aluminum in there, they actually do plug or block your sweat ducts and underneath your armpit, and your lymph nodes are there. Your lymph nodes are there to release toxins from your body. So if you're blocking those sweat ducts, that can pose a problem to your overall health. So notwithstanding that there is no scientific evidence that it can cause breast cancer, it's still unhealthy to be using deodorants with aluminum or parabens. Any product with parabens, you want to stay away from it and just try and live a more healthy lifestyle as much as possible, because we are bombarded every single day with all sorts of chemicals and toxins. So if you can eliminate certain things from your daily routines, it's very important. Yes.
It's health awareness, Doc, that I think in the last couple of years, particularly with the pandemic, we've been trying to get people to become more aware of reading labels, what it is that you're eating, but also, as Loeri said, in terms of the deodorants, what are you using? Until you mentioned the function of the lymph node, I'm not sure I knew what it did either. And so I found that interesting. It's really, really very important to your breast health. I didn't know that.
Extremely important, because let me touch on two things. So I agree that what you put in your body or on your body is very important, right? And when we treat women, whether or not you have breast cancer, we always want to encourage an overall healthy lifestyle. So exercising, we want to try to exercise at least 150 minutes a week. That's really hard, I know, but we should try. You know, try to eat whole foods, foods with a lot of additives in it, try to avoid it. You know, some people can't always eat in that way, but we encourage it, right? In terms of the the lymph nodes in the armpit. Basically what happens, anything that's happening in your breast, whether it be an infection or inflammatory process or a process like a breast cancer, the tissues surrounding that area drains to your armpit.
Really?
So the armpit, the axilla, where you have your lymph nodes, it acts as a gateway to whatever is happening in your breast, get into the rest of your body.
What?
Right, and so that's why we always advocate for screening, because we want to find breast cancer before it gets anywhere near your armpit.
Yeah.
Right?
Listen, I think when you talk about the armpit, people are only concerned with odor.
Well,
that is important, but it's more than that.
Yeah, so now that you're saying that it really is important to know what it is that you're putting there. I mean, people just think, let me put that. Doc, I'm not lying. We just think it's odor. So how do you know? What signs do you look for?
Okay.
To say, well, maybe the lymph nodes are not functioning.
Okay, so a part of breast screening. When you talk about screening, people think mammogram. But over the years, when we talk about the scientific bodies, they put out guidelines, you know, and the guidelines I ascribe to actually recently spoke about screening beginning. If you're a regular average risk woman, you should start screening at 25. But I don't mean mammogram. I mean self-examination, breast self-examination.
Right.
And every woman, as long as you're an average risk person, should start your breast self-examination when you reach age 25. And it basically involves examining the entirety of the breast, all the way from your clavicle or your collarbone, the middle of the chest, down to below the breast, all the way to the side of the chest and into the armpit. And you should do this regularly. Do it about a week after the period ends, usually, because you know there's a bit of tenderness during that time sometimes. And you want to use the contralateral or the opposite hand of the breast. You can use these 3 fingers or whatever you're comfortable with. Go in a circular motion or up and down, supporting the breast with the other hand, and then go all the way up into the tip of the armpit toward your chest and toward your arm. And you do this at least on a monthly basis, because you are the one who's going to detect very subtle changes. So over time, you get better at examining yourself and detecting small changes, because what we want to do is that we want to detect any small change in between your mammograms, right? And so we put it in your hands. You have the power to protect yourself. Yeah. Right? And so
it's important that they do that.
You have
so Lori, I'm watching right now and I'm thinking, okay, because not every woman has the same needs when it comes to a deodorant, I have to say. So if I'm watching and I'm thinking, what kind of deodorants will help me to not only kick odor, but maybe not sweat so much, but also, you know, keep me, what do I look for? Help me.
Well, first and foremost, I want to point out this, that it's not only women that battle breast cancer, men as well battle breast cancer, and it can be more lethal for them because they don't get the warning signs that women get. So I just want to point that out. No, you want to go the natural route, of course. At Unwind, we have a deodorant called Zion Health Clay Dry. Natural deodorants are usually, you know, paired with not being able to fight odor. A lot of people are like, it doesn't work. Yeah. With the clay dry deodorants, they actually work. They're made up, what makes them unique is that they're made up of a canola clay, which is made up of ionic minerals. In fact, over 57 trace minerals, which actually naturally absorb odor and protects the skin's pH balance as well. And it's the only deodorant that does that. Oh. It also has arrowroot that absorbs moisture. It has arnica extract that stimulates circulation, which speeds up skin healing. So it's more than just a deodorant. It's going to fight that odor. It's going to help with the sweating that a lot of natural deodorants don't do. And it's going to help with your whole overall health, with respect to not plugging your sweat ducts and affecting your lymph nodes, which need to drain the toxins out of your body.
So you're saying arrowroot is in it?
Yes.
What are some of the other things?
Arrowroot, canola clay, green tea extract, arnica extract, witch hazel, vitamin E. So another good thing is that a lot of deodorants tend not to last that long. With the clay dry deodorants, they last about a month or two longer than your average deodorant. Okay. And it's safe for kids. So people tend to forget that kids wear deodorants, and you have to be careful what your children are putting underneath there.
Yeah,
so
and your teenagers as well.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you, ladies. It's a mouthful and a handful and a mindful for us to take away this morning, but very important discussion. So thank you both for being with us. Consultant General Surgeon and lecturer at the University Hospital of the West Indies, Dr. Stephanie Lyew, and CEO of Unwind Distributors, Loeri Robinson. That's 10 Minutes to Your Health. We'll do it again next Thursday.